From Montego Bay to the world, let's look at some developments that you should probably be keeping your eyes on. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Artsy. This is my development series and we meet every Sunday at 11 a.m. Let's get into it. We're starting with what's new in Mobe. Number 1, remember a few months ago I talked about the new or upgraded bus stops on the Elegant Corridor? Do you know how many times I've passed them and just always seem to be forgetting to pull out my phone and capture it for you guys, or I end up remembering too late? Anyways, well, I finally captured the new bus stops, so let me remind you of a few details. There are supposed to be 10 bus sheds. Each shed costs $1 million. Funding for the project comes from the Tourism Enhancement Fund. The sheds will be located along the Rose Hall Main Road stretch from Flankers to Barrett Hall, and the project is being spearheaded by the St. James Municipal Corporation. The plan was to replace some small sheds currently in the area with larger ones, plus, of course, adding sheds in some new location. Councillor of the Rose Hall Division, Anthony Murray, hopes that more will be added in the future since the Rose Hall Main Road should actually have 20 or 22 bus stops. Well, let me know in the comments what you think about these sheds. Moving on to number 2, Montego Bay Waterfront Protection Project. Now, the Montego Bay Waterfront Protection Project has been granted $405.64 million by the Jamaican government with the aim of rehabilitating the Montego Bay groins. Now, we visited this project a number of times last year. I think you guys should remember that. The goal is to decrease the loss of beachfront land due to coastal erosion and safeguard valuable coastal resources in the Montego Bay waterfront and marine ecosystem in the area. Now, the project's details are included in the 2023 to 2024 estimates of expenditure, which are currently under consideration by the House of Representatives. Now, between 2023 to 2024, they are expecting to complete the structure at the southern groin and the execution of the North Gully Wall revetment situated in the vicinity of Harmony Beach Park. Okay, so what does revetment mean? According to dictionary.com, it's a facing placed against the front or back wall of a trench to keep the earth in place. Now, let's try another source. hpdconsult.com defines it as sloping structures that are put on banks or cliffs to absorb the energy of rushing water. River or coastal revetments are typically created to protect the slope from erosion while preserving the present uses of the shoreline. Now, let's look at some images so that we can get a better understanding. Number 3, the twinning of Montego Bay, the capital of St. James, with the Greek city of Sitia. Mayor Leroy Williams of Montego Bay stated that both cities will reap benefits from the arrangement, which was first discussed last September. These benefits include student exchanges between universities in Montego Bay and the Hellenic University in Sitia. Why only one university in Greece? Anyway, as well as employment opportunities for Jamaican seafarers on Greek ships through the Caribbean Maritime Institute and under the leadership of Admiral Peter Brady. Greece has the largest shipping fleet in the world and many shipping companies are based in Crete. I'm here considering how I can take part in this little exchange. I think I would love to visit Greece. Sign me up, but I don't know how I can sign up. Anyways, moving on. Now that's it for what's new in Montego Bay. Let's have a look at some developments taking place across the world that I think we should definitely be keeping an eye on. Well, one particular development for today. Now, I don't know if you remember that in January, the World Economic Forum had their annual meeting in Davos, Switzerland. Thousands of leaders from across the globe came together to discuss the economic, energy, and food crisis looming over different parts of the world. The theme of this year's meeting is Cooperation in a Fragmented World. Well, One of the things they discussed this year was a brain monitoring technology that is expected to hit the market by the end of 2023.
We've heard a lot about AI over the past few years. Here at Davos, it's been the talk of the hour. But I want to talk about it in a different way, which is the ability to decode brainwave activity. After all, what you think, what you feel, it's all just data. Data that in large patterns can be decoded using artificial intelligence.
Well, one of the things they discussed this year was a brain monitoring technology that is expected to hit the market by the end of 2023. The technology will come in the form of an earbud, which will increase the chances of it being widely adopted. Because don't we already wear earphones to listen to music and talk on the phone? Many of us already make use of wearable devices like the Fitbit.
In fact, what you're seeing here is my brain activity while I'm wearing a simple device like the one on the right. We're not talking about implanted devices of the future. I'm talking about wearable devices that are like Fitbits for your brain.
I think that is what they're banking on, that the familiarity of the device will lead to many early adopters. So, the earbuds will be able to track your brainwave activity, to determine whether you're focused or not. It can even detect what you're focused on, whether it's programming, writing, browsing the web, or wasting time on the internet. The use of brainwave monitoring technology raises privacy concerns and questions about who has access to the collected data and how it is being used. Employers may use the technology for unfair decision making, and it may also be used for discriminatory practices. Additionally, the accuracy of the technology may not always be reliable despite what they say, and its use may pose health risks. Having such a technology in your ears for hours. Widespread use of this technology may create a culture of constant surveillance, decreased critical thinking skills, and limit personal responsibility. Finally, it's likely that this technology will evolve and be used for behavior control by companies and governments, making it important to consider the potential implications carefully. You know what I really want to know? Would you use this technology?
We also have to be mindful of the changing landscape of biometric laws as this information becomes part of the workplace environment, and decide to move forward in a way that is best for humanity, using the technologies in ways that enable us on a pathway forward rather than oppress us.